Welcome to the Visionary Chronicles, a business strategy podcast where we provide insight to those looking for creative, executable strategies built around the latest disruptive ideas, innovative cultures, product creators, and marketing solutions. Today in the Visionary Chronicles, we're going to talk about lifestyle promotion. This comes out of my new book, The Visionary Brand, the Success Formula Behind the World's Most Visionary Brands. Fortunate to be a reader's favorite award winner for top marketing genre book. So I appreciate that, all the votes and people that purchased the book. Thank you very much. I've had tremendous feedback from business owners, executives, those that have purchased the book, and the ability for them to apply the content immediately. Also was an Amazon bestseller, so very fortunate there as well. So today I want to take a piece of the Visionary Brand and talk about lifestyle promotion, how to promote a brand. And I always start with a little quote, which I think is applicable to what we're talking about today. And that is from Elon Musk, where he talks about a brand. He says, just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it'll be ahead, other times it'll be behind, but brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. And it's a very interesting and intriguing correlation to a quote that I use from Ralph Lauren. And I still think it's very applicable today, where Ralph said, we're selling a lifestyle, not a product. It's very interesting because you see it to be very counterintuitive to what brands would think, but brands think this way. And the opposite of that is, how do commodity brands think? Or when I say commodity companies, not brands, think. And they think just the opposite. We want to sell a product, not a lifestyle. And so their only real competitive advantage is to provide value to the customer. And it's just different ways of providing value. One's price and one's lifestyle. And the lifestyle is a vertical integration of a community with a brand and being able to utilize their product and feel as if it is the best performing product for the intended use. It could be a mountain bike, it could be apparel for mountain biking, it could be shoes for mountain biking, it could be a helmet for mountain biking. That's a lifestyle. It's vertical integration of a brand to provide all those products to enhance a lifestyle that your consumer or community chooses to engage in. So this is a very important part of being a brand, is this what we call lifestyle promotion. And in order to have lifestyle promotion, you have to be a brand. You can't just say you're a brand. You have to be a brand. One that is embraced by a community and one that has longevity and trust and has also been at the premium level of their product category. So lifestyle marketing, I say, starts with understanding your customer. Who they are, what they enjoy, how they live, where they spend their time. And you'll notice one thing in those areas that you need to understand your customer, and it's say money. It's not money. The money will come. But unless you understand who your customer is, what they enjoy, how they live, and where they spend time, they're not going to spend their money. So it's up to you as a brand to provide what I call value beyond product. And I talk a lot about this in the Visionary Brand book, about what that looks like. So again, Ralph Lauren famously said, we're selling a lifestyle, not a product. And the idea that you must sell a product is only part of that formula for building and sustaining a brand. And the important part of that puzzle is sustaining a brand. And I talk about a great product, and I talk about it again in the book, but one great example, and I go way back. And one example was the Sony Walkman. Sony was a great brand, and they had a great product. It was a great dual combination, but they didn't evolve it. They didn't evolve the product. And the evolution that came out of that product, effectively, Sony disrupted the music industry by allowing portable music. Before that, believe it or not, there was no portability of music. You had to either play the vinyl or nothing. So it was a great evolution. It was actually a disruption to the industry. But Steve Jobs took it and evolved it into what eventually would be the iPod. So being able to create a great product, disrupt the industry is one thing. But the sustaining of that product and the evolution of the product and who uses it and how they use it is up to you. You can either innovate or you can die. It's up to you. And eventually that's what happened with the Sony Walkman. And I'm not saying it wasn't a tremendous success. It was. But look at where Sony is today and look where Apple is today. Enough said. So a premium product with a defined point of difference through performance, fabrication, appearance is definable. Okay? What is not definable is lifestyle marketing, promoting a lifestyle enhancement as a result of purchasing your product. So give them the vision before they buy your outerwear. Give them a vision before they buy your running footwear of a lifestyle with wearing your Sauconys, your Brooks, your Nikes, whatever it happens to be. How you're going to make them a better runner is through information. Now, that has nothing to do with the product, but it has to do with providing value. And a great example is, how do you help a runner work on their stride? And that's something that you're providing information and value to your customer that purchases your product. But it's also understanding, again, going back to who your customer is, what they enjoy, how they live, and where they spend time, the money will come. But appreciate and respect the fact that they're not going to spend money unless they see value in your brand, not a product. They can buy a run footwear from any brand, commodity or premium. So that's not your point of difference. You know, all brands understand that brand equity is created by providing value beyond product, which creates loyalty. Now, there's a key term all brands need to understand is loyalty. It's stickiness of the brand, especially on the D2C market we're in today, is it increases long-term customer value. And that is the 10,000-pound gorilla, is that you need to have long-term customer value. You can't have churn. You want to have return rates significantly higher than your drop-off rates. So ongoing revenue stream to a brand for a lifetime is gold, money in the bank. So the more that you can engage and provide value to your community beyond product, the more that you'll build loyalty and long-term value with that customer. So beyond product, here's the question I want to ask everybody is, what is your value to your customer? Do you know what it is? If you don't, you better start putting pen to paper, because your competitors probably have already answered that question or already providing, which is even worse. So most, if not all, commodity brands will not be able to provide an answer beyond value for the money. You know, and if this is your competitive advantage, you have no real edge against your competition except price point, which is dangerous. So this is why there's so few brands and countless commodity brands on the market. You know, if no brands, created these great visionary, evolutionary, breakaway, innovative products, the commodity companies would be out of business. But in fairness to these commodity companies, and you notice I'm very careful here. I don't call these brands. I call them commodity companies. They know who they are and what they can provide to their consumers. Now, I'll say Skechers is probably the best example of this. Nike innovates and Skechers imitates. So it's just a classic case of Nike doesn't worry about Skechers. But again, Skechers knows who they are, and they're very successful at what they do, and they know who they are. They keep in their lane. They don't try to be this lifestyle brand. They understand they're providing value to their customer and create something that is just a iteration of a great visionary product, maybe provided by Adidas or Nike, whatever it is. Stay outside the boundaries of any IP you may come across. So that's what they are. And they know what they can provide to their customers. So brands that, what I say, look in the rearview mirror. These are brands that lose their way. These are brands that are constantly looking over their shoulder at who is knocking them off, and they'll only lose pace with their peer group. And that's a dangerous situation to be in. So you never want to be in that situation. So leave the legalities I've always had with the brands I've been with, Oakley, Adidas, and TaylorMade and K-Swiss. I've always had the legal side of the business on product and marketing. And one thing that I always made sure of is I didn't distract our product team. I didn't distract our marketing team. Leave the legalities to the lawyers. Move ahead with your creativity, continue to innovate, and don't worry about these commodity companies. If you're worrying about them, you're not doing your job. At Oakley, we never looked back. We always looked forward. We knew by the time we had another generation of eyewear ready to go that we would have people copying us. And that's okay. It's okay. We have IP to back up what's valuable to us and not. And that's, again, why we have lawyers. So if you're doing your job, there'll always be 2 or 3 generations behind you, those commodity brands. And you should be, progressive enough, to ensure your brand and product equity is always leading your market or your category. Your customers expect this of you. Why do you think there's such an anticipation for the next iPhone? Not that the people need it. It's just they want to have it. So there's this need versus want society. And, Apple is just the absolute antithesis of this. They're at the mountaintop and pinnacle of this demand and need side of the equation. I've never seen a company that can put something on the front of the supply and demand curve, carry something through the back end, and still maintain brand equity. It's magical. So these are things that you want to be looking at, and things that you can emulate. You can't be Apple, but you can certainly emulate a lot of things of what they do. So you need to be progressive enough to ensure your brand and product equity is always leading your product category. Your customers expect this, your team expects this, your community expects this. And you notice that I'm very careful here about using customer versus community. Communities are built, nurtured, and grown. That's the difference. While customers are transactional. And that's a huge difference there. You need to understand, building the community is something that you're building long-term customer value, providing value beyond product. So again, I understand that customers make up a community, but how do you build the community versus selling customers? These are questions. Lifestyle and image or community your customer wants to be a part of. That's what selling a brand is all about. So open up, make sure that your community gets the value that they're looking for, be consistent in everything you do on a premium level, and engage with your community and grow your community and nurture community. Meaning that, I talk to so many brands with Liquid Mind, both startups as well as established large cap companies. And the biggest problem they have, and I always put a word up on the board, and it's a great learning lesson for those that are in startup mode, trying to grow their business, is consistency. And consistency can be in building great product, put it in the pipeline, make sure you have innovation, but it's also consistency in your messaging, consistency in your fulfillment, consistency in your customer service. Each one of these pieces, if not done effectively, can destroy your brand equity and also your community. And everybody knows bad news travels a whole lot faster than good news. When you have a bad experience, do you talk about it? When you have a good experience, do you talk about it? The former, yes. The latter, no. My expectation is that I have a good customer service experience. My expectation is that I don't want a bad experience. So always be consistent in everything you do. So I say, think different like Apple. Just do it like Nike. The ultimate driving machine like BMW. These are all iconic global brands. They're all selling lifestyle associated with their brand. When you talk about the ultimate driving machine, what do you think about? So, how does a brand build, promote, and sell a lifestyle? So I've got a couple points I wanted to put out today so you have an understanding of what this looks like. First is be premium. What I mean by that is not just in product, but everything. Marketing, sales, operation, customer service, everything that you do. Be premium. If you're a premium brand, then be a premium brand. The second is be real. Be tangible. Let your community be a part of your brand through your products and events, online and offline. Help your customer be a part of who you are as a brand. And number 3 is be consistent. Don't be a one-hit wonder. Instead, build and create great products or services consistently. That's key to success long-term. Once you create something perceived as inconsistent with either the brand positioning, lifestyle, you'll lose that loyalty much faster than you built it. And as a result, long-term customer value goes away, and so does equity. Number 4 is be authentic. Always find a way to provide value beyond product. If you're a run brand, be authentic. Don't put a model in there that has never run a mile in his or her life trying to say that you're an authentic brand. Provide value to your customers. Be authentic. That goes through being real and be authentic are very close to one another. Make a football player better. Find ways to make your target community better. Do not fake it. They will call you out on this and let others know about it, which is even worse. So don't fake it. So I say, promoting and building a lifestyle is really a strategy. Only true authentic brands can deploy, this in their building of their community. And, these loyal customers, these brands that embrace the strategy to become generational and, those who don't fade quickly. And we know about all the failure rates of startups and entrepreneurs, 80, 90%. And, if you do this, you're richly rewarded through increased lifetime values. So be premium, be real, be consistent, and be authentic, and you will be, or at least give yourself the best chance to be a success. So thank you again for listening to Visionary Chronicles today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, at liquidmindsite.com, liquidmindsite.com. I also, on the website, have a free intro meeting. So if you have any questions on the podcast, any support you might need with Liquid Mind, entrepreneur or established businesses through marketing, product creation, international distribution, whatever it happens to be, we'll be happy to help you out. Also have the new book, which I mentioned, The Visionary Brand, the success formula behind the most visionary brands, reader's favorite award winner, Amazon bestseller. So that's something that for me, I want to make sure that I'm always giving back to the community. And I also have, for those who are entrepreneurs looking for support through venture accelerators, I'm also giving my time pro bono to some of these venture accelerator programs through UCLA, UCI, also in San Diego, as well as some in the Midwest as well. So feel free to reach out to me on that also. So again, thank you for your time listening to Visionary Chronicles today. Again, reach out to me at Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, at liquidmindsite.com, or go on to the website and just sign up for a free meeting. We'll have a quick chat, 15, 20 minutes, and see where we might be able to support you. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to the Visionary Chronicles.